So I've been having a ton of fun just making builds for you guys here in Destiny 2, and I've made quite a few Titan builds, and I'm going to be making another one here for you today, except this one is going to be a little bit more of an off-meta build based upon the exotic Ashen Wake and the Solar Titan. So what Ashen Wake does is its perk is Bring the Heat. Fusion nades now explode on impact and gain increased throw speed. Final blows with fusion grenades grant grenade energy. So what this build is going to be all about is you're going to be constantly throwing your fusion nades and your hammer, running around with infinite abilities essentially. Because with this build, we're going to be making 3 solar elemental wells with a grenade kill, as well as a melee kill with our hammer. So we're always going to have either one of those up, allowing us to spam our abilities. And if we put on an extra mod, we're going to even get our super back a little bit quicker. Now, before we get into the gameplay and the build here, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. These things are free and they help me out a ton, and I appreciate it so much. Now, without further ado, though, let's get right into this build. So we're going to start off here in the subclass. We're going to be using the Hammer of Soul super, the Towering Barricade ability, Catapult Lift, the Throwing Hammer, and then our Fusion Nades for our super and abilities here. Fusion Nades, obviously, because that is what the build is revolving around. And then with our Throwing Hammer, this thing is a lot quicker to get, and you can use it a lot more. However, you could run Hammer Strike if you really wanted to. Our aspects are going to be both Roaring Flames and Soul Invictus. Roaring Flames is going to allow us to get a boost to our damage on our solar abilities, which can stack up to 3 times anytime we get a kill with our solar abilities or ignitions. And then while this is active, our uncharged melee ability will also deal solar damage and scorch targets. Soul Invictus, on the other hand, allows us to create sunspots with our solar ability Final Blows. And this allows us to restore our HP when we're standing inside a sunspot. So if we ever need to get a quick bit of healing, we can destroy an enemy with either our nade or our melee, and then we can go stand in that sunspot and gain some restoration, allowing us to get out of a sticky situation or just get some quick boost to our health. Our fragments, however, are going to be the Ember of Char, which allows us to spread Scorch when we ignite enemies. And then we're going to also have Ember of Ashes to apply more Scorch stacks to targets. Our third one here is going to be the Ember of Blistering, which anytime we defeat a solar target with an ignition will grant us grenade energy, allowing us to get our grenades back even more. And then our fourth one here is going to be the Ember of Searing, and anytime we defeat a scorched target, we will get melee energy back, as well as a boost to recovery. The main ones you want to have here are going to be the Ember of Char and then the Ember of Ashes. These two can be swapped out if you like. However, these are the ones I'm going with in the video. For this build, I recommend trying to, as best as you can, get 100 stat in Resilience, Recovery, and Discipline. This will allow us to have our nades back the fastest, as well as take less damage and recover the most amount of HP in the fastest period of time. The weaponry in this build, you can use pretty much whatever you'd like. This build is going to be solely relying on our abilities, so when it comes to weaponry, use whatever suits you best. When it comes to the mods in this build, you're going to want to make sure you have 3 pieces that are solar affinity, one being your gauntlets as well as your cloak. The other one is going to be up to you, and that is because on our gauntlets here we're going to have double impact induction. However, if you need to put a champ mod on, definitely switch that up. But we're also going to have elemental ordnance on this one, and we're going to have elemental ordnance on our helmet. If your helmet is solar affinity like myself, you could definitely throw Ashes to Asset on there to get your super back as well. On our chest piece here, we're going to have Melee Wellmaker. On our boots, Bountiful Wells. And then on our mark, we're going to have another Melee Wellmaker as well as Bomber. And the reason I say a third solar one is so you can have Bomber. So Bomber allows us to get our grenade back faster when we use our class ability. And the reason for all of these is because when you get kills with your grenade, you're not always going to get back your nade instantaneously, because it depends on the amount of enemies that you defeat with your grenade and the type of enemy that it is. So if it is a stronger enemy, you will get your grenade back, but if it is a lower level ad, you will not be getting your grenade back. So for that is the reasoning why we have 2 elemental ordnance as well as 2 melee wellmakers. So if you get a kill with your grenade and it does not in fact get you your nade back, it will spawn 3 wells, allowing you to get almost to the end there and then you can go get a kill with your melee, allowing you to get that last little bit of grenade energy back. And you can just chain the loop of throwing your nade and then getting those wells, throwing your melee and getting those wells. It is a very, very fun build to use. And when it comes to gameplay loops, you can just kind of farm every ad with these abilities. And it's not going to be the most ideal in some situations, like for endgame content, for an example. But I will say I've been having a ton of fun with this build, and I always get my abilities back thanks to all of the wells that we are making, because each time we get a kill with our grenade, we're going to make 3 wells there, and then anytime we get a kill with our hammer, we're going to be making 3 wells there as well. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on it. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of it, and if you try it out, let me know what you think as well. There is definitely going to be a lot of versatility when it comes to this build, so be sure to mix and match mods in the way that you want. You could even go with a firepower type build and get charged with light, allowing you to get your grenade back when you expand that grenade energy. It's going to be up to you how you want to build this. This is just the recommendations I have for this build because it has been working out a lot for me. If you want to check out more of my content, be sure to come check on my Twitch channel and go check my TikTok out as well. Both will be linked in the description below. Appreciate y'all making it to the end of the video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.